Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun, and today I am here to talk about the Star Wars Squadron trailer. Now, trailer and gameplay. Now, I did not come out with the video about the Squadron trailer because it really didn't show too much. It was just really much an announcement. But yesterday, EA had their I think it was just called EA Play or whatever event, which was like about an hour or two event where they were just talking about some of their latest games. You really didn't get too much information on too many things other than the announcement that they're making a Skate 2 and little, there's a new engine coming for the next gen consoles, which we kind of already knew, and that Dragon Age, the new Dragon Age is is really into it. So that game, I'd be looking out to hear something more about that game in another year or two. But really, the thing you got to see the most is Star Wars Squadron. It was the biggest thing that they showed, and it was the most thing, and honestly, it was really freaking cool. First of all, Star Wars Squadron is essentially the space battles in Galactic Conquest. If you ever played the old school Battlefront 1, I don't know if it was in Battlefront 1. I only played Battlefront 2. But I know in Battlefront 2, when you're, going through your Galactic Conquest, going to planets, eventually if you kind of intercept with another enemy's, if you're going to an enemy's, planet, you gotta fight the space battle, and then you can go down to the planet. And the space battles used to be really, really fun because there used to be so many ways you could win them. There was multiple ways you could win the battle. Now, it looks like this is going to be primarily just space related, but in Galactic Conquest, you could either blow it up from the outside, it'd take a little bit of time, shut down the generator from the outside and just bombard the ship from the outside, or I believe you could do it that way. I always, every single time, just flew inside the ship and took out the generators and everything from the inside. That's usually what I used to do in Battlefront 2, is just fly inside the ship and just take out the generator and shit from the inside. I'm like, I'm not playing these games. Bit hard because you're literally flying into an enemy's nest and characters and bad guys just spawning and you just have to figure out a way to survive all that. But it was still a really fun game with very different controls to the different ships. Even though the different ships kind of spawned it randomly and you just have to jump into it when it spawned it still was a very fun game. And when EA started to remake the Battlefront franchise with the Battlefront 1 and 2, Galactic, space battles were like, they weren't really there. Or at least I don't remember them being there because Galactic Conquest isn't in the game anymore. So the idea that so it seems like EA essentially took the space battle aspect of Galactic Conquest and just gave it its own game and gave it even more detail. Now, this game is gonna be pretty different from most of the other Battlefront franchises in two ways. First of all, it has no microtransactions. You have to play the game to unlock everything. No microtransactions. So that's a major improvement on its own. Secondly, it's one of the only games I can think of where it is VR. I think it is cross-platform play, and it can be used in VR. And actually, they say the best way to experience this game is VR. And when they showed the gameplay yesterday, and I'm sitting here looking at it and seeing the seeing the cockpit and seeing all of the different things and seeing the graphical design of the way it looks and the blasters, the different ships and the way the different ships move and the TIE fighters move and the X-Wings move. It was just kind of like, this would be an amazing game to play in VR. Like, I have not cared about VR. There have been a lot of people who said a lot of cool things about VR. I just haven't really cared. I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of people say VR is the future. I'm like, you know what? When it happens, I'll buy it. But until it happens, I'm going to just be my lonely console guy. I've heard a lot of people talk about PC, and I'm just like, look, I'm a simple man with simple goals. I'm going to just play my console and call it a day. But I have to admit, watching this trailer, watching the gameplay for Star Wars Squadron made me go, man, I would love to play this in VR. But And then secondly, just like all the aspects of it, you know, a lot of the things with the, even more than just the design is all the attachables, all the customizations you can make to your ship, and customizations you can make to how you play the game, how the different ships do different things, and how this game is almost being framed, and I say almost because eventually it's not going to be like that, how the game is almost being framed a little bit like Rainbow Six Siege in Planes. In terms of you can't really win this on your own. It's pretty clear that the game is really pretty much saying you can't just Rambo this, you know, because you're gonna get damaged and you're gonna have to heal yourself. And the best ships, and it seems like they're trying to balance it out where the best ships that do the most damage, you can't heal yourself, and like ships that can do this and ships that can do that, and you're gonna cherry pick, and how they have this whole thing where you come to a table with your teammates before you go into battles, and they have their mode. They basically have this one mode called Dogfight, which is essentially team deathmatch. It's 5-on-5 battles, and they also have this thing called I think it's called the Fleet, called Fleet Battles, which is almost like it's just basically like Rush from the Battlefield franchise, which is like, because you remember in Rush how you're either defending the bomb and pushing, you're either defending the bomb and trying to hold the line, or you're attacking and trying to push the line all the way to the back, push the line all the way to the end. And you know, but except apparently, instead of like choosing a side to be on the offense or the defensive, basically you have to strategically select when you want to, if you need to, and when you need to go on the offense or defense. If you're attacking and you're being successful attacking, you're going on the attack, and the other guy has to go on the defense. It's almost like it's almost like volleyball, I guess, like, because you guys are starting off in the same spot, like with the same amount of ground, and it's like whoever's pushing, it's like if you're pushing, then it's like, okay, this guy's on the defense. But if they're pushing you, then it's like, okay, now you're on the defense. You're trying to hold the line, steady things out, and then start pushing back. But if you're behind, it's going to be a lot harder to. So like even it's going to be even strategy to that. Like, do you give up early on the battle to start setting mines up and start setting up more of a solidified defense, or what? And apparently the fleet battle is going to be cool because all of it's 5-on-5 technically. Technically, all the modes seem, except for the story mode, seem to be 5-on-5. But the fleet battle is 5-on-5 plus an array of AI on both sides, of AI, supporters, other, like, it's a fleet battle. It's a massive Star Wars fleet battle, except 5 of the fighters are players. And you're trying to push everyone back and push them back. I actually like that kind of stuff, too. I like the idea of, like, I don't know if there's games that do that enough, like, the idea of not quite like that one game, not quite, Empire, what is it? Dragon Empire mode? I'm trying to remember that game where you just murder, where like it's armies, but you're like this super dude just like where you're striking like hundreds of guys at the same time. I can't remember the name of the game off the top of my head, but I would love, like, I like the idea of a game that lets you, like, that's like, yeah, man, you guys are the 5 different makers in this huge battle to push the other team back. So that sounds cool. But yeah, like, I mean, but the big thing that I want to end this on is the game only costs $40. You have to, if you got an EA account, it costs about $30. If you have an EA, All Access account, it's gonna cost about $30. So, I mean, this game is like they're not asking for a lot of money from you. It's cross-platform. It can be played in VR and experience. No microtransactions. It's only $40 max. I gotta tell you, man. It seems like it kind of seems like the graphical design does make it look a little bit like an extension of Battlefront. So, but like it's almost like it's like one of those. It's like Got Out of Hell, but it seems like this game is being fair framed in the same vein as Got Out of Hell, Far Cry New Dawn, Undead Nightmare. It's almost a big ass DLC, kind of like what the new Spider-Man game's gonna be. The Spider-Man Miles Morales game. It's a big ass DLC. So thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Are you excited about Star Wars Squadron? What do you think? Are you excited? Are you not excited? Were you looking for more? Or are you like me, where you're like, I think I might end up getting this game because there's like I said, it has a lot of things going for it. I can't wait to see it. Thank you guys for joining the Common Game Move Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.